Welcome to the check-in.
Welcome to the check-in.
Hey, y'all. First things first, we gotta let y'all know we grown-ass women, and grown-ass women say some grown-ass shit sometimes. So if your earballs are not prepared for profanity, prepare them.
And also, we are not mental health professionals, so if you are dealing with a mental health crisis or you need somebody to talk to, text HOME to 741-741, and a trained professional will get back in touch with you.
All right, let's get into this content. Oh, look.
Hey.
Wow.
We can do things.
Oh, my gosh. You did it all by yourself because I just sat here like a goober nut.
It was Thomas. It was your spirit. And then it was me. So
I didn't do anything, but I respect you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh.
We're ready to go.
Even though it took a nap?
I don't know why.
Okay.
I guess we just gotta trust this.
Uh-oh.
I don't like it either, but you know.
Okay.
Nope, I'm not gonna touch anything. All right, so grief. Surviving the holidays with grief.
Yeah. Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
We took a little hiatus for you guys.
We definitely did. After a very spicy episode, so people were probably like, oh shit. they canceled the show.
Oh yeah, no. Well, surviving the holidays, right? We made the first of the last-ish of them.
Barely. We're barely. I'm gonna try not to chew in the mic because I do have gum in my mouth. I'm really. Oh, just kidding.
Couch tissues to the rescue. Couch tissues to the. All right, I'm gonna level with you guys. I got the itis really bad right now.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying though. So
she's ready to fall asleep.
Be nice, be kind, and I will try to be present.
Okay, so do you want me to start off? Since you're sleeping?
Oh, please, yes, do.
Okay.
Please, yes, do.
So surviving the holidays with grief.
Yes.
How am I doing?
How are you doing, friend?
Thanks for asking.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I figured.
It's okay, don't. It's I got you. I got you.
Okay, all right.
So right now my heart is not filled with literal grief. It's filled with like symbolic grief.
Oh.
But we'll discuss that on the next episode with surviving the holidays with broken relationships. Okay. So yeah.
Is there a timer on that?
No.
Should we be timing?
We should be timing. Your phone.
Oh, fun. Okay. Sorry, guys.
Just so we can keep track.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, we're just gonna put it right there.
That's nice.
Yeah, that looks
nice
good.
And sexy. Yep. All right. Seconds are going by so fast. So, yeah, I don't have any literal grief that I'm dealing with. I mean, I'm sad. 2020 took a lot of awesome people. Chadwick Boseman, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Sorry, I had a couple drinks in me. I'm sorry. Those are really hard losses. There were
Kobe start the year.
Kobe.
We were in yoga.
I mean, that was a really surreal day.
Yeah.
Like when Kobe passed away, I thought it was a sick joke, and I was just like, no,
this isn't a thing.
I don't believe that. But yeah, we finished our like 3-hour yoga session.
Yep.
And I hopped on Twitter and I was like, Kobe Bryant is dead.
Like, I remember you went to the bathroom as we were about to head home. Mm-hmm. You were in the bathroom. I was scrolling and I was like, Kobe's dead?
What?
Kobe's dead? And as soon as you came, I was like, Kobe's dead!
I don't.
Yeah.
See, and it just like, it doesn't seem real. Like when stuff like that happens, it's just like, it's so random. Mm-hmm. It's so inconvenient. And that's the whole point of death. It's like, we don't have a choice in that. You know, if you believe in a higher power, then you know that that's their plan and not yours. And when you try to have a plan around that, that higher power just laughs at you and sips their tea.
Hee hee ha ha.
Hee hee ha ha. Oh, you thought. So I think
Excuse me.
Socially, there's been a lot of grief. Personally, I haven't been affected by it. Nobody close to me recently has passed away. At least I don't think. I would feel like a piece of shit if somebody did and I forgot.
Oh.
I don't think that's happened this year. But this is a pandemic year. You know, people have been sick, and I was afeared. I was scared I was gonna lose some people, but thankfully, you know, I haven't lost anybody to the COVID. But you know, I do miss people that I've lost in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like I shared on the show before that I lost a friend in a car accident that had a really significant impact on my life, and it to this day still affects me, because he was just a really awesome, thoughtful, caring person, and I know like the holidays is just when he thrived. So I do always like think about him and, you know, reminisce on the good memories. And then I, you know, aunts that I would visit, just the usual type stuff. But what I like to do mostly is to just remember the good times I shared with them. And I'm doing this thing this year where I was very serious about writing letters. So I think I might write them letters, like the people that I'm missing, the people that I wish I could see, that are no longer here, because I don't know, I just think that would be really healing, self-soothing for me to do, letting those emotions out, you know, all that bullshit that I don't like to do. So yeah, I was thinking about doing that, but what about you, friend? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay.
Okay.
I mean, like 2 years ago is probably when I lost the most people. I did lose some family members to COVID this year, but they weren't family members that I was very close with. So it didn't really have that big of an impact on me. But definitely when I went to Orlando for Thanksgiving, I didn't think about this, but I might cry today. Oof.
We got couch tissues, don't worry.
The last time I had been down to that part of Orlando was when I was with all my great aunts, and one of my great aunts passed in 2017, like right before she was supposed to come visit for not really the holidays. She was coming in October, but it was just really weird to pass all these places and remember being with her and knowing that she's not here anymore. And it was just really, really sad. Like I had to, like my honey muffin drove me there and I had to hold it together in the car because I didn't want to be all red-eyed when I got to the resort. But even the style of the resort just looked exactly the same. And it was just really sad because she was one of the aunts that I bonded with later in life. And somebody who was just very, she's a little sassy sometimes, but she was just very sweet. She would like, I remember we went to the Holy Land in Florida, and there was like this setup of a table, kind of looked like maybe the Lord's Prayer table, but it was like a demonstration table, whatever. And there's a big sign that says, "Do not go behind the rope." And so she was like, "Hey, take a picture of me behind this rope." And I'm like, "Auntie, you're not supposed to be behind the rope." So she's like, "What they gonna do?"
She was a rule breaker.
So she was. She's hard to pin down personality wise for me, but she was a lot of fun. She had a really big heart. She did a lot for people even when they didn't deserve it, which I wish she wouldn't. But she's definitely felt when she was gone. And being that she passed away that September before I was supposed to see her in October, and that was the year I was buying my house. So I was really excited to show her the house that I was going to buy, all this stuff. And it just didn't work out. So yeah, it sucks around the holidays. I still do think of her. I still think about, what she would have thought of my accomplishments and how, there's just so much that she's missed that you just have to wonder like what it would be like to be able to celebrate those moments with people who aren't there anymore. And every once in a while, even though my grandfather on my dad's side has been dead for a very long time, I still get upset about him not being around. And because both of my grandfathers died fairly young. So, seeing people having like their family together, not so much this year, but like seeing people having their grandparents and stuff. And I was just like, I never got to see my grandfathers past like elementary school, and it hurts because I'm just like, bro, I feel like I missed out on having those relationships and sitting with people and learning from them and, having them be proud of me. And it sucks. So the holidays don't always bring out that feeling. Definitely a lot less of that going on with me if I stay home. Yeah. So I don't know if that's partially a reason that I like to stay home, but I do appreciate the family I have now, and I definitely don't want to, make the mistake of being so enveloped in grief that I don't enjoy the moments that I have with the people who are still alive. But I definitely
you think about it.
Yeah, and it's hard to digest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the whole point of the series is like the holidays is focused around family, right?
Yep, yeah.
But there's so much shit that comes with your family that sometimes it's not enjoyable. And it's especially true when you've lost somebody close to you. And, when, like, I don't know, did your aunt like Christmas?
She was very, 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 very religious. Oh. So
the Lord's Day.
I think there was a draw to Christmas more so for the religious purposes and being in the church and those things that happen around the holidays. But she was pretty big on family. And that side of my family is my mom's side of the family. We're pretty small. So we've always been pretty tight knit. So having her just not there anymore, like, she lived with my grandmother. Okay. So anytime I would see my grandmother, she would be there. And, now my brother is staying with my grandma. And so it's just like, you feel it when you walk in there and she's just not there anymore.
Was she the glue that kind of kept everybody together?
No, I wouldn't say she was the glue, but she was the second youngest sibling out of 8. Okay. So nobody expected her to go at the time she went. She had a heart attack in church. And
in church?
In church. God took her right then and there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I remember because they were calling my mom, and me and my mom had just gotten out of church. And I'm sitting, and my cousin calls me. And he rarely calls me. So I was like, hey, what's up? He was like, is your mom there? Is Auntie Didi there? I'm like, yes. He's like, tell her to call Auntie back because we need to talk about something. So I told my mom, and then they're like, I could just see it on her face that something was wrong. And she put her on speakerphone like throughout the car because we were sitting in my mom's car. And as soon as they said they were trying to resuscitate her, I was like, she's gone. She's gone. She's gone. Like immediately I was like, they're not going to bring her back.
What?
Yep. It was on a Sunday.
That is wildly traumatic. That is insane.
Like, that hurt so much because I was like, God, why would you take my great
in
aunt
the place of worship?
And like,
yeah,
why? But I was so thankful that I went on our last family trip because I didn't want to go. But that was the last time I saw her, and it was that year, so I didn't have to feel that regret that I didn't spend that time that I had with her. But I had pictures and stuff, and at that time my phone had been having issues, and I got a new phone, so I was trying to get into my old phone to get the pictures, and I couldn't get into it, and I was getting frustrated, and I was just angry, and I just threw my phone on the floor, and I just sat there and cried because I was just like, why is my aunt gone?
Yeah.
Like, why does she have to go like this? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So that was really the last straw that kicked me into my depression.
Yeah. That was a tough year for you.
I just like, out of all the people, for it to be her, like, I just didn't expect it. And I just started getting close with her, so it hurt even worse. But those are things that you just have to deal with. Like, grief doesn't, get in on your schedule. It just hits you at random times, and whether you believe in a higher power or not, it just always seems like it's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, my last really close relative that I lost was my great aunt also. And I was so fortunate that she was able to see me at my undergraduate graduation. And shortly after that, she passed away, and I found out she was a lawyer back in Liberia, and I was just like, she would have been really proud of me, like, graduating from law school and coming to that graduation. But she suffered so much. She was so sick. Like, arthritis, dementia, all them diseases that come with age are like really, really awful. They're really wicked. And I just, all of my life, like, I'm almost 27, I don't remember a time where she wasn't having her arthritis pain or like just slow to get up, unable to cook. Like, she was just losing the ability to take care of herself. And she literally suffered all the way to the end, and she passed as soon as her daughter got off work. Like, when her daughter came home, she passed away that night. And it was like she was waiting to say goodbye. She was fighting it off. And, after she passed, I think that was the turning point in my faith. I think I slipped out of my religion, or I questioned it more because I just didn't understand why. And that replayed in my head all the time. Like, how is this devout woman, like, always praying to God, always talking about Africans, highly religious, but nothing ever shook her faith, but her death shook mine.
Yep, that's exactly how I felt about my great aunt passing. Like, there was just such a, and that was the summer that Richie lost his life, and I had 2 great aunts on my dad's side pass. So it was just like a stream of
death.
And I'm just like, God, why are you doing this?
How were you able to survive the holidays that year?
I was hanging by a thread, but what I think actually helped me was working.
Okay.
I will get into this a little bit later in another series, but I didn't have too much vacation time, and I ended up having to work, and I think just staying busy kind of kept me
distracted.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, that's when my depression got wildly out of control. So me trying to keep busy and also trying to figure out, like, what do I do with these feelings that I've never had at this level before? And I remember calling my my cousin, the one who called me that day that my aunt passed. And I was sitting in the Wendy's parking lot. I called him.
Remember where you were.
Yep. And because it was the first time I verbalized my feelings to somebody about my depression, and I was like, hey, Auntie is gone and I don't want to be here anymore. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And he was just snotting. He was like, I feel that way too. I understand what you're feeling. Like, don't feel like you're feeling this by yourself. But it was definitely the first time that, like, I had a death that hit me that hard, and then, like, it didn't just leave a bruise.
It stuck with you.
Yeah. That pain just, like, stayed and stayed. But now it's been 2 years. I definitely have more of a fondness about her. That was my first time, like I said, dealing with grief at that level. So I've learned it's all the cliche things people say about it. It doesn't get better. It doesn't ever go away. You just learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been doing. So I treasure those moments that I have with her. I still have videos in my phone and pictures, and every once in a while I go look at them and
that's special.
Enjoy that I had, I did have time and that I don't have any regrets about her, because sometimes people pass away and you end up having regrets. So I had to be, thankful that beyond all of the things in me, in my introvert self screaming at me not to go on that family trip, that I went and I did get to spend that time with her. And take pictures. And I have this picture of her where she's like standing by these roses outside the hotel, and she's just such like a ball of energy and just so cute. And I was just like, I'm so glad that I ended up going. So that I want to say, having the memories, like the good memories, and enjoying those, and just being able to look at that memory and go back to that place is really, really helpful for me. And also talking with other family members, because I started getting to know her very late in her life, and in my life too. So talking with other family members, hearing stories and how they felt about her, because, rarely, unless they just really salty and terrible, do people say bad things about people who are dead. Like, usually you gotta...
That's true. That is rare. Unless you're an awful person.
Yes. So for the people who aren't awful, I will, maybe I'll bring her up and we'll share stories and things that I haven't heard of, and we'll all laugh and everything. And it's a good time. It ends up being a better time than if you were just, like sulking and sitting with your emotions by yourself, because that's one of the goodish, I don't want to say good because that sounds like a terrible word to use, but that's kind of the good things about grief is it's hit everybody.
Yeah.
So,
everybody is familiar with it. And I mean, nothing really helps, at least for me. Like, literally nothing helps. I don't know how to comfort people. I just ask them, like, what they need in that moment. But for me personally, like, death hits me like a truck, and I'm so, like, pathetic about it. Because I get all existential with it, and, like... why God, this person, but there are other people here. Like, what lesson are you trying to... Like, I try to find the deeper meaning behind the death. Like, okay, this person's story and their lesson for the world has completed. They've done all they needed to do on this earth. But why do these other bitches like why are they still here? So I really just sit and think too much. That is like the only time I overthink about anything is with death.
That's the only time like I don't, which is odd because I'm a planner and I gotta think about everything 16 times before I do anything, and then Google it just before I do it just to make sure.
And then put it in your calendar.
Exactly. Consult a friend.
But that's me. Like, we trade places. I'm just like, let me
you are the yin to my yang.
Wikipedia this. Let me it's just, but it's exhausting. That's why I'm kind of a wreck after during my grieving process. Like, when I lost my friend, I was just so wrecked. Because there was so many emotions that went on with that. It was a combination of guilt and sadness and fear and shock and just disbelief and confusion. It was just a lot. And I was a teenager. It was my senior year in high school. And I just couldn't believe that was happening, right? But then I was like, how dare I feel that way when he has like a sister, a mom, a father, like... another sister, they all lost him. Like, it wasn't just me. So then I would talk down on myself for feeling.
Wow, you went through a lot.
Oh my God, girl. But I flipped it and turned it into a whole like senior project. I was just like, hey, depression sucks. This is my project. I'm gonna donate to some charities. Hey. And there we go. Senior practicum done.
I don't remember what I did mine on.
I didn't know what else to talk about because that's all I felt. I was just like, I need to talk about suicide because I'm familiar with that research. So
Travel. I did mine on travel.
Really?
Yep.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it was super fun.
You remember traveling?
Yeah. Did it just last week.
Oh, shit.
Okay. But
yeah, I went through a lot, and I'm no good. But the time and the time from the event,
so
it helped me.
You've had, that first loss, and then the loss of your great aunt. What is different between those two times of you being able to process that you've seen growth in yourself, or something that's actually started to help you?
So I really noticed, and this is with like every aspect of my life, I need support. But I'm like uber independent, and that is a
trauma response.
So in my independence, it's actually like to my detriment, because in the times when I do need help and I need support from people, I don't reach out for it. So I've noticed that, and when I'm going through, a grieving stage or whatever, I'm quicker to pick up on the fact that I need to be around people, not necessarily to distract me, but to just express how I'm feeling. Because if I'm just sitting in my room thinking these thoughts to myself, it gets ugly.
Yeah.
It gets really bad. So I think I've been able to learn how to pick up on my own warning signs and then reach out for help when needed. So that's been helpful for me. And, when it comes to the holidays, I know it's very family focused and family centered, but just being open and honest about your comfort levels. Because let's say, for instance, my great aunt that passed away, let's say she was like the glue for a portion of my family, right? And now that she's gone, we don't really mess with each other like that. I'm going to just tell you, like, hey, I don't want to be around you.
Yeah.
I only come around you because of Auntie, and Auntie's not here, and you're not a good person. But in the more respectful way. Yeah. Like, way more respectful. I mean, I might even just be like, oh, COVID. Just, I just have to focus on protecting myself if I know that I'm going to be in an uncomfortable situation, especially if I'm at a time where I'm grieving. Yeah. So that's what I picked up.
Okay. Well, those are really good things to have picked up, though.
It took a lot of years. That was senior year in high school.
I mean, but still, the older we get, the more people we gonna see die. So
that's true.
It's definitely, sorry, that was really morbid.
No, but it's true though. And I always used to worry about that.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, my thoughts on death. Maybe in a Trips and Hits episode, I will talk about my thoughts on death. But it gets really deep for me.
Oh, not for me. I'm like, lucky you. That's great.
You don't have to pay bills no more.
Right. You ain't got to do nothing.
You don't have to be in this like trash ass.
I'm happy for you.
You don't need to worry about health care.
Unless you died in a really awful way. Then I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Nobody wants to pay. Everybody wants,
But like, if you were old as dirt and you had a bunch of diseases or something and you died, good on you.
I wouldn't want those diseases though. I would like trade those in for some sleep death.
Yeah, I would definitely want to be euthanized, but our government's not there yet.
I don't think they ever will be.
That's okay. There's places in Europe. I did my research. Be responsible. That's all I'm going to say. You guys need to be responsible. Talk to your counselors, your therapists, your friends. Okay? Yeah. Make sure that you are in the right mind when you make the decisions that you got to make. And if you're going to make some decisions, make sure you make them responsibly.
What are we talking about? Just any decision?
Any decision. Anyone.
Okay, any decision. I'm like Rihanna. I can't wink. It's like a blink.
Aww. Dollar can't wink either. He do like this.
It's really difficult. I got some strong ass eye muscles. They want to do the same thing at the same time.
Okay, they're together. Unity.
Yes.
Unity. Look at that.
Like Rick's ex.
Yeah.
Yes. Just
do
like
it all
that.
together. Assimilate.
Oh.
No, that's not
No, we don't like that word.
Oh, that's what she was.
Yeah, I know.
But
and that's what
Summer
was talking to her like, "Hey, bitch, this is bad."
And Morty was like, "Hey,
oh jeez, Rick. Oh jeez.
I think this is okay. So
I think that's that for me.
Okay, I think the things that I took away that I've learned how to deal with grief better is I pretty much said that already, but like, revisiting good memories.
Yeah.
Being around and talking about that person around other people who have enjoyed that person, because then you get to have a fun remembrance time. Do you remember the time when I did? Do you? Too sweet, smells like chicken pot pie. Excuse me. Okay.
You did that right in the mic.
I did because it's mine.
It is. You have the Band-Aid to prove it.
Yep. This is mine now. But yeah, that is that.
All right. And with that, we're gonna jump into the next segment. The trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Okay, next episode. This is gonna be my favorite episode. Surviving the holidays with broken relationships.
It's gonna be a little hefty, probably.
I mean, I can keep it brief, I think. Maybe.
We gonna see.
We're gonna continue this series to the end of the month. So stick with us through the holidays. Thank you for bearing with the little sabbatical we took for 2 weeks.
Yeah. But we back at it again.
So
remember, guys, life is like a chicken pot pie.
I knew you were gonna say a chicken pot pie.
That you thought maybe you weren't getting because you can't read and you were confused by the text messages you were receiving. But then they said they were bringing it, and then you were really excited because you're super, super hungry because you've been doing this intuitive eating thing that's like 1 minute you're not hungry and 1 minute you're ready to eat a small baby. So
not a small baby.
Then your chicken pot pie arrives and you eat 75% of it and you're happy and full and ready for a nap.
Oh, I thought 75% was left.
Oh no, that's almost gone. I might eat the rest. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you because it might be gone before I go to bed. But yeah, life is like that chicken pot pie.
Like
something that you didn't expect, but you should have expected, but you thought you didn't expect it, but it came, and then you ate it and you're happy.
Lord. Okay. And with that, be kind to yourself.
Be kind to others.
And be kind to your pets.
And be kind to the universe.
And be kind like Steven.
Be the beautiful galaxy you're meant to be.
The beautiful galaxy that you're meant to be.
Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.